Okay, yes, people. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to some of us. Again, especially people in India. It is morning to them. But more importantly, welcome back to Just Perspective. It's another pre-game show, and I hope you're all doing well. I sincerely do hope that. Please, if you're there, do let me know you can hear me. I'm seeing getting the signal in my in the dock there, my friend, which means to me it's working. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one today. Jean Felix thrown into the mix. Although the lineup isn't showing on my screen already, but I can see from what people are saying out there that João Felix starts. Okay, no problem. I hope he does well because it's a huge risk. If it falters, it's usually very difficult to correct. But he's a big boy. I know he will give a very good account of himself. Hopefully, we'll get a win. That will go a long way for his confidence until the loan is done. Uh, Blue afternoon, yeah, I never thought of that. Blue evening, Coachella, panel, and chat. I hope you're doing well. The plan I have is something called Blue Noon, but it's just me at this point. Except if find somebody who can be hosting that for me, then Blue Noon will start. Again, how are you doing, brother? I appreciate all the support and you finding time to be part of all the shows. And here again, please like and subscribe, people, when you enter. If you have not, as it helps the channel reach a wider audience. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And this one here says, I am following from South Sudan. Beautiful place. I hope you're doing well, brother. Dominic Brinzi. Is it Brinzi or Brinzi? I don't know how to pronounce it, but I hope I did not butcher your name. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. That means the world to us here. Let me see what else we have there. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to switch between screens to take care of something. We have a big up panel in chat. Francis Winters, I hope you're doing well, brother. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. Give me 1 second. Yep, there you go. And we have who is again? Francis Winter again up the Chelsea. Let's have it right. Hopefully we'll get a win. And I believe we can get a win actually. Let me see what I can do quickly. Trying to organize stuff at the same time to share so that people can join us. Up the Chelsea, yes, up the Chelsea indeed. Let's see. Welcome, Dominic. Welcome to the channel. If you haven't, please do take a second, smash the like button, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Or do we have here? Felix starting is giving me hope. So Savage our season. Yeah, again, he's a good player, but I wouldn't risk him. I would let him play with the boy together with the boys for at least 3, 4, 5 days. He just joined us yesterday, but yeah, I hope we get 3 points. That will go a long way for his confidence throughout the loans 6 months of the loan spell. What's up, Coach? Happy Thursday! Happy Thursday to you too. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. I don't know if the lineup yet. There you go. It reflects on my screen. So let me see. That makes sense. 3-4-3-1. That makes perfect sense. With again a back Keparis Balaga between the sticks. Yep, that one, no question. Thiago Silva centrally in a back three. Chalobah to his right. Koulibaly to his left. The 2-6-6, Kovacic and Zakaria. These are, you could say, the two players. Again, we've seen them. I haven't seen a good midfield that worked well the way the two of them worked the last time. What game was that they played together? They did quite well. To the left, Lewis Hall, again, who operates from there. I think the kid got a good vision. He's a fine footballer, and I'm happy he's getting the opportunity to start this game. That makes a whole lot of difference to me. Again, if it is a project, if making it into top four isn't a big deal for us this season, yeah, we might as well start him there. The last time he started a game for us there, he played quite well. And what a player he is. Aspilicueta to the right, we cannot do anything different there, except if Graham Potter decide to deploy a winger in a wing-back position, centrally Kovacic and Zakaria. Good combo there. Havertz, again, as you can see, yeah, wow, okay, 3-4-3 as a number 9 man, if given the structure here, Mount to his right and Felix to his left. I think, would I have done anything differently? I know a lot of people will be saying a Mason Mount shouldn't have started. And who do we have on the bench? We have David Datro Fafana, we have Hakim Ziyech, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Connie Chukwuemeka, Conor Gallagher, Jorginho, Benoit Badiashile, Mark Cucurella, Marcus Bettinelli. I would have said, yeah. Again, I wouldn't have I would have changed one player there. I wouldn't start Mason Mount. I would give Carney Chukwuemeka a chance, really. He's been there for a while. And I don't know how you Felix just joined us and he's starting the game today. The kid has been training with the manager for like 1,000 years now, if you ask me. I'm going to come to you right away, Roger. Welcome to the panel. I hope you're doing well. Just quickly, your thoughts on the selection here. Would you have done anything differently?
Hello there, Coach. How are you, sir?
Big up to you too, bro. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much.
Are you on crutches? Or
Sorry?
Are you on crutches? How's your knee from jumping off that fence, sir? Couldn't resist.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I'm really I'm really shocked about the lineup.
What aspect exactly?
Well, let's have a look here. So the back line, the back three, right? So it's a 3-4-2-1 apparently. Excuse me, sir. João Felix started.
Did you say 3-4-2-1?
This is what Sky Sports is showing as a 3-4-2-1. I haven't looked on the BBC one yet, so I apologize. I have no problem with.
Go ahead.
I have no problem with Havertz. I was hoping for a 4-2-3-1 and have Fofana and Kai behind him, or even Mason behind him. João Felix, I don't
behind who?
Behind a number 9, like Fofana.
Yeah, I was hoping he starts too, but go ahead with what you were saying.
I mean, I really like him. Definitely not. At least we didn't start Pierre-Emerick. That's, I guess, we have to look for some more praises, right? This is how low the bar is. But João Felix, in my opinion, regardless of how match fit he is, I'm shocked he's starting.
It's a risk.
He's been here all of like 42 minutes in the nation. You know, come on. I mean, listen. I mean, he could get a hat trick today. Who knows? But you know, and I know that's. It's also, you know, he's young. He's 23, if I'm not mistaken, and
yeah, he's 23. Yeah,
and I get he's chomping at the bit, but that could destroy his confidence if he plays in a team where there's no, because they haven't really practiced on Cobham, so they don't get to know each other's intricacies or strategy of what is required and so forth. And you're right. I just think this is I mean, I never thought he would start him today. You know,
yeah, I wouldn't do that because I think what you're saying, we're saying the same thing. Whatever happens today sets the tone of how he's going to finish the rest of the game. His lost spell at Chelsea.
I don't know about that, but it could be detrimental. Let's put it that way. I don't think it sets the tone per se, because he could have a really bad game today, and then the next week or two he could be amazing. But I just think it holds a lot of. It's more risky. It certainly, I see more downside to him starting today than positives. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and being honest, I will start Chukwuemeka over again Mason Mount if this is really the structure or whatever the structure is.
Sure, yeah, I have no problem with Carney starting over Mason either. That's a good shout, sir. You know, I like the fact that Lewis Hall is starting. I really want to see more of him. You know, I prefer to see him more in the starting in the back four, but I prefer him to be in the midfield because he is, you know, naturally a midfielder historically.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's space for him there right now.
No,
given his experience, I'd rather him start on the flanks like he is doing right now.
Sure, no,
plus,
I get it.
You could say, plus you could say the application is different. He still plays like a midfielder here. And the day he started that I was screaming on top of my voice, he operated mainly centrally. But go ahead with what you were saying.
No, I like the fact that he's getting playing time. I listen, I know I'm probably consciously and subconsciously have a bit biased because he's a Cobham chap, but I'm basing it on what I've seen on the field of play. Whether, let's say he just signed with us from Reims, from France or whatever, I would say the same thing. Based on what the eye test is, I like him so far. It's not because he's a Cobham chap, I give you my word. But those are the things. I'm pleased that Dennis Zakari is starting. I really am, because
he deserves a start.
Yeah, he's been a breath of fresh air. And the one thing that begs the question is, why hasn't he started earlier? he's been here for such a long time, and we're only just, maybe it was match fitness. I have no idea. Maybe he had a knock, but Caesar again. I mean,
or maybe Potter is learning the hard way.
The very hard way, not the hard way. The very hard way. I mean, listen. The thing that sticks out is obviously number 11. That to me is a flashing red light. Hopefully he proves me wrong. Hopefully,
I hope so.
Yeah, I just think it bears more negative. That's all I'm thinking logically now.
Yeah. Just quickly, let me catch up with what we have in the chat, and we'll hear Bobby's again opinion on the lineup and the structure, because it makes sense as it is really. What's up, Coach? Again, happy Thursday. I've read that one again. Willian starts against us. He will score, and he said he's going to score. I hope he doesn't. He's been brilliant to them, really. Now, again, I think now he uses his intelligence, footballing intelligence, more than his pace. Before it was his pace more. Cuchilla, again, he played well against Barcelona Sunday night. That's all the confidence of Felix needs. Maybe if that works, I take it. I am following from Nigeria. Long time, boss. Again, Marvel_USA. Nice to see you, my Niger brother. I appreciate you finding time to join the show. Fulham 2, Chelsea 3. Wow, that's again goal galore. Goes galore. Potter says Felix is a confidence boy, and it's just lets him and enjoy himself. One thing I totally agree with. Yep, but again, there's a risk there. I hope again he overcomes that, because I'm just going to say it my way. Whatever happens today may well set the tone to how the rest of his long spell at Chelsea Football Club goes. Again, guys, stop complaining. Nobody's complaining. We just don't want him to risk starting Felix in this game, and it doesn't go well. But I hope it goes well. Totally disagree with your take on Felix. Okay, let's see, 15 million, 5 months. So come on and work for that money. I like that one from Courtney. Yeah, let him work for the money. It's as simple as that. We wasted 16 million on Cucurella. It's not a waste. I don't think, if you're paying attention beyond what, again, those games that he didn't play well, there's more to the reason why he played badly. Primarily due to lack of protection from the midfield. Starling, 33, Koulibaly, 10 million, all by 17 million, Wesley Fofana, not looking good. So again, heck, let's spend 10 million wage on Felix. It cannot get much worse than that. I hope he proves you wrong. Yes, people, smash the like button. We're 13 likes right now. We can do better than that. Please, the more you like the stream, the more the YouTube algorithm will push it to those that be interested in this particular topic, and we'll do better this evening. Even though I think Felix is a spoiled kid from into the limelight too early. Is that what you mean? And we will need a time we don't have. We will need time we don't have. I am gonna get behind the kid and pray tonight. Thank you very much. Just do that. We need that. Why playing Mount again? Because it's English and overrated nonsense. I don't know. But I wouldn't have started him. I would have given Chukwuemeka a chance. I have to be honest. It's high risk but high reward with Felix. If it's a masterclass, it could give the squad a spark that they need, which is again, like you said, high risk, high reward. Bobby, your thoughts on the lineup? Would you have done anything differently? And good evening to you. I hope you're doing well.
Hi, Coach.
Hi to you too, brother.
Hello, a couple
Bobby.
of things come to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yet again, is Potter really that technically and tactically bereft that he has to start a player that has been with us for all of 2 days? I don't understand that in itself exposes him. I wouldn't use as strong a terms as, if he doesn't perform well, it would shape his entire loan spell. I don't believe that at all.
It differs for every individual, but go ahead, brother.
In terms of the team
Mm-hmm.
that is looking to win this game, you need some coercion, because one of the things lacking in the team in the past few games is a lack of coercion. And how do you get a guy who has been with the team all of 2 days to really know the team? I mean, I just don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that at all. He would have benefited more from watching on the bench and then coming on a bit later. But it is what it is. Another change I would have made would be I would have put Ziyech for Felix to start, and I would have put Chukwuemeka for Mount to start.
Yeah, I think Ziyech would have done well in this game. I don't know how Fulham play under what's his name, Silva, Marco Silva. I don't know them too well, but we don't have again. Where's the creativity gonna come here? Or maybe
Well, this is it.
mhm.
I guess because it is a West London derby and a London derby, per se, probably why he's placed Mount in ahead of them is because it's going to be quite.
Yeah, are you there, Bobby? Did we lose you?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you went out a bit. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said probably why he's played Mount is that it's a London derby. It's going to be quite furious. I mean, it's our direct neighbor, so Mount is probably who he feels will be best equipped to cope with that. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. He's technically better than Gallagher. It's another one that would be equipped to cope with that. But I still feel that maybe Chukwuemeka then should have started ahead of Felix, and Felix coming on later. But look, it is what it is. This is what he's chosen. I've noticed Cucurella's on the bench. The bench is fairly strong. Fofana on the bench, are we surprised? Not really. Aubameyang, no, we're not surprised with that one either. Jorginho, yeah, he belongs on the bench. And we'll see how the game goes. It's a must-win. It's as simple as that. And his technical and tactical know-how has to be on display. He's the coach, the manager of Chelsea Football Club, not Accrington Stanley. He's got to show some nous here. And I don't think anything other than a victory is really it's not acceptable, to be honest.
They want to draw, isn't it?
I'm not saying Potter out or anything like that. But he has to win, period.
He has to. Roger, would you have started Chukwuemeka? If that's the case, where would you again? What position would you have placed him?
Yeah, that's a good question. Probably where Felix is.
Okay.
I wouldn't
if you're not starting Felix, you start him where Felix is.
Yeah, why not? I mean, listen. Hopefully, I'm proved wrong.
Me too.
Hopefully, I'm proved wrong. I mean, listen. We haven't seen a very large sample size of him playing for, was it Villa, and now Chelsea is very small. But you can tell when I watched him play at the under-19s or whatever under age it was, he was, and I mean this politely, a man playing amongst boys. He's, for his age,
he's that mature.
Yes, it's just physically and just the way he plays. You could tell he's stuck out. If you ever watched him, Bobby, play for England, the under-20s, under-19s, under-17s, etc.
I've watched bits, highlights, and
I've watched
his goals,
every game,
his creation.
He
looks like a man against boys there as well.
He was. I'm serious. Foden stuck out. He stuck out, and Everton striker that's always injured stuck out. I forgot his name. He scored a World Cup goal. I forgot his name, but it's irrelevant anyway. Yeah. But anyway, he's listen. Every time I've seen him come on for Chelsea, regardless of he hit the post last time, he passes the eye test convincingly. I'm not saying he's going to be, a world-class player. I'm just saying he merits and warrants a more starting time, and I'm just shocked that he is not starting over João. Now you could say maybe he
not because he's better, because somebody's already saying in the chat, bro said Ziyech over Felix. Not because he's better, but because he's been training with the team, probably had better understanding of better bond or better chemistry with those guys. Yeah,
you can't.
Felix needs some time.
He needs some time. Yeah.
You have to know the chemistry. You have to know when you're speaking. It's like when you're having drills. By the way, this is what I'm doing. You get to understand players' tendencies. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. It takes months and months, if not years. But you can't be airdropped into a place and expect to listen, this isn't the NFL where each play is structured. Like you have what is called a route tree. You're going to run a post pattern. You're going to run an out. These are patterns where you run 7 yards and then break right. So it's all structured. No, this is free flowing. This game is free flowing like rugby, So unless it's a set piece, of course, these things are 99.9% free flowing. And therefore it behooves each individual to know their colleagues' tendencies and what they expect. Like when you make a blind pass into the box in the 6-yard line, you expect someone to be running in on the far and the near. You know what I'm saying. I don't have to explain.
Yeah. I do know what you're saying.
These things. Maybe maybe he'll get a hat trick. Maybe he'll score 10. Maybe he'll get subbed off after 5 minutes. Who knows? Obviously, I'm going from one extreme to the other.
Here's the thing. This is the argument. Isn't really he would. Yeah, our argument isn't really he will perform badly. But it could go either way. To me, again, Bobby, I understand Bobby saying that maybe I'm using a strong language by saying whatever happens today could set the tone to how, again, the whole 6-month thing will be.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, again, but I'm saying again, there's a chance he kills it today. There's a chance it's the difference.
Sure.
Like somebody in the chat said, he may well be the spark we need. Just again, do with some magic today, everything turns around for the good. I hope that happens. But again, we're all not the same. But here's the thing: it will take one instruction for him to do well today. He has to get all the freedom he needs. He has to get all the freedom he needs. Again, I can't say he's played so much with this guy that everything has to go with through him today. It's never going to happen. And again, one thing I want to look, yeah. One thing I want to talk about is I'm happy Mitrovic is out. He's suspended. I knew that before time, but still, there's no taking for the Fulham team for granted. They're well drilled. They play with so much intelligence. The day I've watched them, that's one of the things I picked up again because Marco Silva is an underrated manager, but he can read the opposition team quite well. And I'm happy he's out. Yeah, go ahead.
This is their FA Cup final. You look at QPR, Brentford, Fulham, etc., West Ham. Especially the West London teams. London is blue because of us, and that sounds so arrogant. And Bobby knows I spent most of my childhood supporting Chelsea, what was then the second division. Never did I think that we would end up being the team and the structure that we are today. Never in a wildest. If you had asked me that 40 years ago, I would have laughed at you. But today, in today's game, in the last 20 years, this century, people get up for us. Whether look at QPR, they were getting relegated a few years ago, and yet they beat us. They played us like it was their FA Cup final. When it comes to these very passionate derbies, Coach, you have to live here to know it. It's like, and I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. The amount of passion, like when we go to Palace, for instance. Oh my God, they're 14,000 or whatever it is, but it sounds like 60,000. It's London derbies are a thing to behold, aren't they, Bobby? This is going to be tough.
Yeah, it's very
intense.
It's hard to explain. You've got to be. And this is no disrespect to any of our fans, outside the country or anything, but
yeah, exactly.
You've got to be in and amongst and part of the culture.
Yes,
to
and then
feel it, really.
It. Yeah, it's brutal.
You can
to understand the magnitude.
Yeah,
it's incredible, Coach.
And the higher the status of the club, the more
my
fierce
first match in the Shed in Chelsea when I was, 11, maybe 10. I went with my best friend who's a Fulham fan, and he wore a scarf underneath his coat. It was cold. We won 1-0, and in the Shed they saw his black and white scarf and like, let's get him. And this one Chelsea, probably someone in the age of my age, said, "You don't touch him. He's a kid." The passion was like they wanted to get him. It was. It's my first ever game at Stamford Bridge was a Fulham Chelsea game, and it was incredible.
Yeah, it's a serious game. It's a derby. We have to win this one. Have we won any London derby this season? I don't remember. But let me again, maybe against
Have we won any
Tottenham,
matches this season?
did we beat them? Did we beat them? Let me show you again an update quickly, and then we'll move on because it's a very short show. We have other stuff to talk about regarding the game, and I want to catch up a bit. Again, breaking news. This is shocking to me. And Bobby said it. Don't count us out. Because again, you would think, okay, that's Bobby's type of player, probably designed by Bobby.
In a lab.
But you get my point, and I don't want to say it in a way that it would be that I'm disrespecting God. He's the creator and the Almighty. But what I'm saying here is, again, I didn't expect this to happen. Two things. One, he lives on a free again in the summer, which means more money, sign-on fee for him. Again, and it's up to him, because once you cross that, you enter that final month, you have the right to start speaking with the clubs, and you don't have to agree with your club selling you in January. So exactly. I don't know how they're pulling this off. It says Chelsea are in advanced talks to sign Marcus Thuram. The player has changed his mind over the last 24 hours. Chelsea is understood to have submitted a tempting offer to him. Yeah. So again, because we must do the calculations, so okay, we can actually lure him, but we have to do something better in terms of salary or anything, or explain to him, because the selling point is very important. Again, sell the project to him. I hope he comes, but I don't want a situation where, okay, you can say he's practically a winger, really. But I don't want a situation where he comes, you say he's a number 9, and Datro Fofana has to leave on loan. That will not make me happy.
How old? 25. He's 25.
He's 25. Again, he's in his prime. You could say that.
He's entering it,
Coach, squad depth is imperative. Why I believe the attraction of these guys, it's really quite simple. I don't like saying this because people often use it against us, but financially, because of our ownership, Chelsea's able to compete with anybody and everybody, and don't ever underestimate that. The consortium is fabulously wealthy, and they can compete. Now, if they tell you that they're going to pay certain wages commensurate with those of cities, Real Madrid and the likes, believe me, they can do it. Now, you can talk FFP and everything. These guys are calculated. They've made a lot of young purchases who will not be on big wages. And these guys that are going into the first team and are the equivalent of sort of marquees, because they're going to be major players. Someone like Marcus Thuram isn't coming to Chelsea not to be second fiddle. He's coming to play. And so that's where the wages go. And then the project. Who in world football would not want to join this project? Even if we don't, God forbid, make Champions League, I still harbor that hope that we will, either by winning the blooming thing or by our league position. We have to believe. If not, what's the point in watching football? So even if we don't, the project is still a good project.
It's enticing.
It of course it is. You've got
and it looks like they're able to sell it. João Felix, him, Andre Santos, who was again? Datro Fofana already at Chelsea again before he was born. But that's by the way. Go ahead, Bobby, so that I can catch up with the chat, because it's a very short show. We have we don't have up to 30 minutes actually.
I'll be quick. The playing staff is enticing to anybody who wants to make a name for themselves. So of course this guy should be tempted, and I hope he comes. I'm excited by the project. The only concern I have is the coach, and we're going to watch him today to see if he is the man for this project, because we're not messing around, and we don't need somebody who's tactically struggling. We need someone with nous. And Mr. Potter, come on.
Yeah, if Marco Silva outsmarts him, then he shouldn't be coaching Chelsea. Yeah, thank you, Bobby, for that. Again, if you're watching, guys, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're at 19 likes, so we should be doing better than that. Again, let me catch up with the chat. We'll move on. We have to look at insights and look at, again, the past 5 games for each team. And again, and if you are in the chat, let us know, given this lineup, would you have started anybody else? Again, would you have done anything different? I'd like to get your opinion on that. I would have liked to see a midfield 2 of Chukwuemeka and Zakaria. Chukwuemeka, you shouldn't play him that deep. Maybe with if you're playing him deep with again with maybe with Zakaria, I think it will work because Chukwuemeka is capable of fulfilling that cover six role, a hybrid of 8x6. I think the way he glides with the ball, guides the ball quite well, pays attention to his surroundings. I think he's a fine footballer, and believe me, he will soon get his place in this team. And once that happens, he's not going to get out because he's a fine player. I've seen that myself. So thank you for that. Will Richardson, thank you for that. And Miss Elano, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the show time to join the show today. Big up to you. I appreciate that. Wally Waldo, it's annoying that the Fofana isn't starting. It is really. But again, let's see. Maybe it's just he want to make it gradual. He just want to keep him on his toes. He wants to keep him to make sure he keeps working again. But if that's the case, then Felix should have been started. Fofana needs to be starting. Silly politics. If you ask me, I'd say the same. I feel the same as you. If Felix has a shocker, then everyone will be saying it's a bad signing. I don't think he'd have again. He's capable. He has enough skills to even if he plays, it becomes selfish on the day. He'd still light up the place. He's that a type of a player. Aspi should not be there. Unfortunately, we cannot do otherwise, except if playing wingers in the wing-back position with Potter likes to do. And you could say if he's playing Lewis, who is traditionally a midfielder, or let me say traditionally plays centrally, then he should play someone else here. But it would mean we're only playing with 3 recognized defenders. But right now, we're playing with 4 recognized defenders. That's Aspi, Chalova, Silva, and Koulibaly. Lewis Hall isn't a defender. He's a midfielder. I know we all know that. Again, Carney and Datra deserve to start, especially Carney, who's trained with the manager for 1,000 years. Why he isn't giving them that chance, I just don't know. Potter seems to be in a desperate situation with the quick inclusion of our new signing. What a way to! I think that's the delicious comment of the evening. I think he's desperate to win a game. He's desperate to do well. Lolo, how are you doing? Again, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Come on, coach. Yeah, thank you very much again for cheering us up. That's my Barcelona friend, but a very nice individual. Datro over Havertz. Maybe I would do that again, and then I would do Chukwuemeka over Mount. Really, if I really want to accommodate Felix, Mount has to drop to the bench, but probably because of his running, he has to accommodate him. Or what's the other guy named that Bobby talks about? His lack of technical ability. Again, Chalova should go on
Gallagher.
Yeah, Gallagher.
Wow, he says with a deep voice.
Should go on that, William. It's not going to have it fun. I think no, William doesn't have that much pace anymore. But he's an intelligent player. He can exploit the slightest of spaces he finds on the pitch. So we must be tight. Otherwise, again, and he can shoot from outside the 18. Again, unstoppable shots. Actually, if we're being honest, honestly, I'm sick of seeing players start that doesn't deserve to. Again, bench them till they deserve a spot. Again, Potter needs to make them realize they have to deserve a spot, not just a start all the time. I think he has to do that. Havertz and Mount again. Yeah, you're seeing that win at Chelsea. Darren Blake, yes, I hope we win. Again, if you're watching, 20 likes, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We still have about, you can say 20 minutes to go before the end of the show, so the likes can go up. Yep, Courtney, London Derby. Again, it's like the Ashes. Yeah, you could say that. Get him his clinical. Who exactly? Get who? I think the fact that we have no striker must be tempting to him, knowing he has got a place. Maybe that's the case. Thuram would be a decent signing. Gives me better vibes than some of the garbage we've overspent on. Overall, again, we've been needing it to have a long-term philosophy, not make us as we go. Yep. Okay, I'm going to go back to the panel and I'll try to catch up your subsequent contributions. Apologies, there's still too much to read, and this is a very short show. If I keep reading that, that's all we'll do for the day. I want us to look at the insight here. Where is it? Do we have an insight today? Okay, there you go. Boom. I like this. This again, when I do the YouTube video shots and predictions, I use it quite a lot. So they're ranked 7 in goals scored per match, 1.7 per match, and we're ranked 12th in goals scored. So they beat us to that one. Again, they've been awarded the most penalties this season. Koulibaly, be cautious. We haven't scored again in our last 2 matches. Okay. Again, I haven't lost in 5 matches. Have we lost any matches in 5 matches? Have we, Roger?
Me no English. Killing me, coach. Killing me.
Okay. On paper, without looking at at the back, you can say backdrop of the whole thing, or this insight, because this can give you a lot of. This is more like statistics that can tell you the likely outcome. On paper, we should be blowing them out of the water, given the fact that again, even with what we have better players, or maybe the more popular players, and then I think that's the better way to phrase it. Because these days, popularity doesn't equate to how good you are as a player. So yeah, they may have players that are not that popular.
Do we have the heart, and do we have the leadership? These are the
I think the leadership is there. In terms of
Silva
in the defensive area, but again, he's capable of impacting the game from the defensive line. Have you noticed how badly we play whenever he's not on the pitch, even though he's a defender?
Yeah, so Kante and Reece. Without them, we're a different team completely.
Yeah, that's the truth.
This is why we need time for a coach. Let's say Tuchel was coach now.
Let me just round off with the insight, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Thank you very much. And the last item here is on our side. Chelsea haven't lost to Fulham. Okay, this gives you hope. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. They've scored better goals than us, more goals than us. Again, they have more goal output than us. Again, 1.7 per game. But here it says that Chelsea haven't lost to Fulham in their last 13 matches. But of course, we've seen something similar before and end up losing the game. But I hope that doesn't happen today. If you're watching, guys, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So, Richard, go ahead with what you were saying.
No, just basically, listen. Anything can happen.
We have a nation. We have a country of injuries. Really.
Yeah, we do, and I think
community.
If you put Tuchel right now with these losses, I'm not saying he wouldn't get better results, but we wouldn't be the same team, regardless of who our coach/manager is. And I think, let's say Tuchel has only taken over for the last dozen or so games. It's, don't forget, we were at the top of the Premier League under Tuchel, and then we lost Reece James and Ben Chilwell, and we never recovered. So, they do contribute to a team, any team, regardless. Having said that, I actually believe that we are lacking somewhat leadership. We do have some leaders. I'm not saying we don't, but not compared to days gone by where you had a Lampard, a JT, etc., Ballack, etc. We had leaders all over the pitch. I don't see that in today. I just don't. Don't get me wrong. That's not a knock against Silva or anyone else. I just don't see the level of leadership. And also, the one thing that I'm seeing that is lacking is heart. The very least, being a professional, regardless of what division you're in or what league you're in, the minimum required is to give you 100% effort. Anything that's just the basics. Even if you don't have a first touch, like a Sterling, his first touch is invariably pathetic. But all you can do is, at the very least, as a professional, is try 100%. And I don't see that. And you know what? That's a coach's or /manager's fault. In that regard, you can definitely put the blame at his feet for that, because that's part of his job description. Not the execution of players, whether they miss a penalty or miss a header, etc. But that part, motivation, that is definitely part of a managerial's role. I want to ask one quick question. When's the last time we scored aerially from a corner or a set piece from, let's say, the defensive line or midfield? When's the last time that we've had...
I have to go to the library and back.
Yeah, exactly. Congressional library. Because we're not getting any contribution from each level of the pitch, whether it's midfield or defensive line. I don't see that. This is another. You can't just put it all on the forwards. It has to come from all over the pitch. And the last year and a half, that hasn't been the case. This is another thing that's costing us points. We're not clinical.
Yeah, I want to ask again. We've looked at again the insight. It's very important. I think there's a lot to learn from that. Now look at the team form. They've drawn won 1, 2, 3. They've beaten Crystal Palace. They've beaten Southampton. They've beaten Leicester City. They've beaten Hull City. These are all strong sides, really.
This is respectable.
Yeah, I think. Here's the thing. I'm sure the players probably are not aware of this record, and even if I know, I wouldn't tell them. But some would think, again, I wouldn't tell them about this record of course, we haven't lost to them in 13 matches.
If we come away with a draw tonight, I'd be happy, depending on how we play, of course.
Roger, really. Look at it. 9 wins or 4 draws, 0 wins. That's when I'm usually concerned. But that's by the way. But Roger, let me ask you this. Let's go into it. What type of game do you expect?
Well, actually, I wasn't expecting a back three today. I really wasn't.
I wasn't, but it looks like he gives us again. I think he's doing it with an attacking intent.
Yes, no, I get it.
Not for defensive reasons. Yeah, go ahead.
I think Askeby is going to be more forward and crossing. I think because of the back three to solidify. I get that.
And if this is the structure, it makes sense for Askeby to stay there because he can put in good crosses. Why Kai is central there. I was asking, but I think this game, it depends on how much space you find in behind again the 4-11. Adebayo isn't what's his name? Adebayo isn't the quickest, but he can read the game quite well. We need pace to beat him. Maybe we'll get that from Felix. Go ahead.
The game is going to be won and lost in the midfield, in my opinion, as invariably a game usually is. We need to have width too. We need to provide width, but we need to basically. Well, with Kova and Zakaria, they're going to be the keys to the game. Also, I think they're going to need to have passing lanes, provide passing lanes, and they're going to need to be solid in their defensive attributes, like tackling well. You know, they're going to have to defend the back line, give them assistance too. This is the engine, in my opinion, and I like this partnership of Kova and Zakaria.
Yeah, something else comes to mind after this again comment from All Sports Adam. Connie should have played after getting no time versus City. As you can see here,
I can't argue that.
Yeah, clearly he's banking on experience here. The only reason you can say Hall is starting because he probably wants to give Kukurea a bit of a break.
Sure.
So I think he still banks on experience, and Bobby calls it politics. There's a chance that may well be the case. The younger players will be going, what is really going on here? I hope they do well. We can. Where's Wesley Fofana? Chilwell, Cheek again. They're back from injury. No, they're not. I'm not sure they're ready to play. They're still here. Yeah, if for anything, light training, really. Even Loftus-Cheek has a few days left. Wesley Fofana, a few days left. Reece James, late January. They're on the pitch, probably doing, again, light training. Late January also for Raheem Sterling. N'Golo Kante back in training. Really? I didn't know. Early February for Eduardo Mendy. Christian Pulisic early March. That's like
he's training on his own, coach. Basically, Kante is just doing light workouts on his own. I wouldn't call it From what I've saw in interviews, don't read into that.
Yeah, Bobby, how about you? What type of game do you expect to see today?
I don't know what to expect, but I know what I hope for from Chelsea. I want us to be aggressive. I want us to be strong in the tackle. I want us to be creative in the final third. And I want us to be accurate and, in front of goal. Not be afraid to take shots. And we should be all right. I mean, I want to see some game management from Potter, which has been sorely lacking in the last games. Game management, not just in the first half, but in the second half as well.
Order.
Or just react to situations immediately.
Yeah.
Don't leave it too long. Sometimes if you wait, by the time he makes those changes, it's a bit too late. That happened the last game. If he was paying attention, he should have made the changes earlier, knowing that Pep has he changed things around already.
So hold on 1 second, Coach. Did you watch Man City like yesterday?
Something is quite wrong with them.
Yeah, Pep brought on their $90 million or pound striker. What's his name?
Haaland.
Haaland. He didn't bring him on at half time, which you're 2-0 down. He brought him on with like less than half an hour to go, 28 minutes or whatever. It's like, so now had Potter had done that, had Potter been in his shoes, you would have verbally castrated him for this. I was watching the game yesterday, and I'm thinking, Potter had done this, had Potter had done
Bobby, you go ahead, give him that one, not me. I'm not going to. You respond.
No, I was watching the game, and I'm thinking,
in that Pep has earned his stripes.
No, true. Well, he's never won a Champions League without Messi. But of course, I respect him. He's a world-class coach.
Bobby, what were you going to say?
Go on. Sorry, I'll let you drop. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, Pep has earned his stripes, and when you've won as much as he has, the odd mistake here and there, which is inevitable, is almost pardonable. But when you're up and coming and you haven't done anything, you have to make more of the right calls than the wrong calls in order to get yourself on the board. So.
But what I'm saying is
Roger, wait, I want to get something from what Bobby's saying. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead, Bobby.
Well, yeah, that's it. It's and also another thing is that Pep has a luxury of talent, both on and off the pitch, and whatever he puts on the pitch, I think he has the right to expect them to stand and deliver. So it should be irrelevant what time he brings on Haaland. He's played Haaland so often this season. He's entitled, even if they are 2-0 down, to expect that they can catch up. But it didn't work out this time. I suspect they're probably a bit jaded because they had played back-to-back games. I think they had about 2 days rest in between the games, and no matter what size of squad you've got, it's going to take its toll.
Yeah,
I can't compare the two, to be honest.
No, but I'm not. My statement wasn't to compare the two over their length of career, their tenure. But I'm just saying, had Potter had done the same thing and brought on an attacker, the best attacker, and he didn't play in the previous game, by the way. Guess what? He would have been lambasted. We would have slaughtered him. Yeah, you would. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
And rightly so.
Well, then, and you know what? This is the first time Pep has ever been eliminated in a domestic quarterfinal cup game.
Well, let's just bring it to our game. Let's bring it to the Chelsea game.
But my point is, listen, what my point is to bring out, even world-class striker. You're saying that Potter doesn't bring or doesn't react in time enough. All say that. And you know what? Guess what? Other world-class coaches don't either. So
occasionally,
what's good for the goose,
but he doesn't react in time often.
Roger, you're seriously into whataboutism whenever it comes to Potter.
No, but this is what I'm seeing. Facts don't lie. Facts don't lie.
Yeah, but I had to let Bobby give it to you because he responded quite well.
And I respect Bobby immensely, and you. But I'm just saying, I critique Potter. I critique Potter often when I see it's necessary. But there's certain things that, my opinion, which is, listen, I'm flawed. I'm not always right at all. Far from it, actually. But in my humble opinion, I see things that I don't think are warranted in comparison. You see where I'm coming from. Listen, there's many things that he can improve on. And the one good thing is he's admitted it lately, where he says we all need to improve. That he seems to be humble in that regard, and I like that. Maybe he's too humble, though. You're right. Maybe he isn't aggressive enough. Maybe maybe this job is too big for him. I'm being honest with you.
No. I know you're trying to be honest, but again, you're losing excuse. Again, you're running out of excuses.
It's not excuses. It's my honest assessment.
I'm just pulling your legs. I know you've been truthful about the whole situation. Bobby, coming to you, what type of game do you expect, and where do you think this game will be won? Richard said, I think it's a game that will be won in the midfield.
Bobby expects a Potter masterclass.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah,
Yes,
if that happens, I'll take it. Really,
I'm joking.
I need it.
I'm joking.
I need it.
Well, I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that. I don't believe in participation prizes and praises. I want to praise him for actually doing something. So I'm wishing him success.
Yeah, of course.
His success is Chelsea's success, and I want him to give us a masterclass today. What I'm expecting, what I'm expecting, I've already said. But we have to. The game can be won in the midfield. We've got to be bloody minded, for want of a better phrase. We've got to be bloody minded,
Bobby. I want to see us stick the boot in too. This is a derby, and you know what derbies mean. You stick the boot in. You don't. Like what really gets my goat is when I see, what's his name, the Moroccan player and Pulisic. So Ziyech, they'll pull out of a tackle because it's, and I get that your body is your office, but you know what? When it's a derby, you stick the boot in
in a way, there, Roger. This is where. I try to avoid saying this because I get attacked a lot for all sorts of things.
I know what you're going to say.
This is it. This is why we need like a Declan Rice.
Yes, because he will
the English players understand this.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
they know that when it comes to getting stuck in, you can't go hiding. And
Coach, in the 1970s when Man City was really poor, they would play Man U so tough.
Yeah.
My God, that was Joe Corrigan in goal. It's like it was end all be all, and you seldom see that because of an influx of players overseas that don't. Just like if I'm a professional English soccer player, football player, and I go to, let's say, Italy, I don't think I would understand and appreciate the nuances of the local derbies or the culture. And this is not one-sided, but it's multifaceted. We're not picking on anyone. It's the same if an Argentinian went to Spain and vice versa. It's everyone but your own nation. It's normal. It's inherent. Normal. Exactly.
However, some of them have been here long enough to know what time of day it is. But sadly, this is the one thing. Oh yeah, I mean, Kovacic and all that. They've had enough bruises to tell the tale and know what it's about. But I don't think we will get that from Kovacic and Zakaria. They can take it, but I've never seen them really giving it. And sometimes in our game, you've got to give it as well. And this is why, I'm not advocating for MMA fighters in my team.
Kovacic. So see, when a top six or top four. Yeah, you would definitely hope so. When you see a top team, like the top six, play each other, that's like a derby in and of itself. But when you have geographical derbies, the game goes up a notch in intensity, or at least it should historically. And often we don't see that. As I said, watching QPR a few years ago, who's getting demoted, getting relegated, playing us, and they beat us. What does that tell you? They play with heart. This was like, we've got your family at home under gunpoint if you don't win this game, kind of attitude. Seriously. It's
let me catch up with the chat just quickly. Again, we have a nice punch, fellas. He has earned his stripes, Pep. Yeah. Potter has earned his first magic wand. Yeah, that's how I see it. We need a world-class A-list manager. Even if we win tonight, our manager is not good. Again, the new owners has spent 400 million already with cheap manager. It is not going to work with this manager. I just hope it does. It's not about the manager for me. It's about the club I love and support. If we're seeing a Roman legacy, but what's happened after Todd Bowley's 20-year career on FIFA could be the key to our future. I hope so. So, Roger, what do you think the outcome of the game would be?
I think it's going to be a draw.
Oh my
The-
goodness.
Listen, Fulham's tough. Fulham is a tough
Mhm.
place to go. Craven Cottage is not easy. It's a small ground, it's very intimate ground. The crowd is right on you, and I'm telling you, it's like Crystal Palace in that regard, isn't it, Bobby? It's a tough place to play, and I'm telling you, the intensity goes up a notch. Fulham knows. Fulham knows that they're playing the big bully on the block. They know it. They're going to come out with knuckle dusters. I mean, it's just going to be a intense and hard fought game. At least it should be, And so, if we come away with at least 1 point, I'll be pleased. 3, I'll be ecstatic. I just don't see us winning. I just don't. Not with the players we have available. And you're right. We have a coach that is growing. He's learning as he goes, and we don't have a world-class coach.
Yeah,
so...
we can actually wait. Let him go and take classes and still come back. Let his assistant continue. It's gonna be it's gonna be a long season, really. But that's, by the way, I'm just gonna wait to end the poll and call it a day. And Bobby, yeah, I get it. And Bobby, if you want to add anything else to it, go ahead. You add it. Because I'll be ending it soon. We'll have about 4 minutes before the game starts. But I want to end it as soon as possible.
I'm going to run and get a cup of tea. Are you continuing on this platform or the other?
No. It will redirect you to the watch along. So I think I should just end it as quickly as possible. Yeah. Yeah. No, not here. It will switch. I will share another link.
Okay. All right. So I'm off then.
All right. Again, we have 6. How many votes here? We have about 4 votes. 75% thinks it's going to be a 2-0 Chelsea win. 25% thinks it's going to be 1-0 Chelsea win. Nobody thinks Chelsea will draw or lose. That's interesting.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, quite interesting, really. But that's, by the way, I think I'm going to end it so that I'm going to. So let me get ready for the watch along. Yeah. I hope to see you during again when the first half ends. If you have time, I will share the link.
I would love to. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Thanks to you. All right, guys, thank you so much again for finding the time to join the show. If you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go along with. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. See you guys next time, and bye.
Bye-bye.